Wagwan peoples. You know we're here walking and talking. Today, we're gonna scatter a little bit. We got a couple topics. You heard about mangione? How he played? At least going to be played, according to the news. AI Aguan. Hey yo, Eagle Eye, Demolition Man, Judge Dredd. You know we always talk about surveillance state. It's a reality now. Who heard about the flock cameras that's throughout? That's all connected throughout the nation, state to state, along the highways. Yeah, we're gonna vibe today. We're holding the vibe, y'all. Again, some more understanding. I'm CLP. Like, share, subscribe. And if you're new to my video, hit that subscription button. It helps. And other than that, I'll catch you on the other side of the intro. CLP, holding the vibe. What up, everybody? I'm CLP, holding the vibe, walking, talking, like, share, subscribe. Now, if you like the vibration, tap into @LGETV. But if you want a sit-down podcast, tap into Conscious 356, where I sit down and hold a vibe on these big topics we're talking about. But if you just want to have a vibration, hear some beats, tap into @CLP Got Beats. What up, everybody? How is all doing? Hope all is well, and if not, hope we get back on track sooner than later. Second act to your thing. Now, man, walking and talking, walk for the health, talk for a better understanding of certain things, reality, life, what's currently going on. Since 2001, they're talking about, what was that law that they put out in 2001? You know that law where they can get your phone records all up in your private business, almost like you have no more privacy? What was that? The Patriots Act. And now here we are in 2026. The surveillance state, like, the movies, Demolition Man and Judge Dredd, how those futuristic states are, where the powers that be, or the government, I should say, the system itself, that's in control, is in full control. Surveillance state that we always talk about. Cameras everywhere. I just started putting cameras in street corners years ago. But that's setting up. Then after 2020, you notice how they were digging up everywhere, implementing 5Gs, those towers. Now you can understand why. Have y'all heard about a flock camera system? The flock cameras, the system that's monitoring your everyday lives, or I should say even just driving, because they got these cameras everywhere and it's all connected to a network. I'm not sure fully understand everything, so we're gonna talk about it and do some research with some clips. But as y'all see, how you think those Julio killers got caught so quick? They had the flock cameras following them from the murder scene, tracing the car backwards to where they got there, and then doing the research. And now those guys doing life got caught within months of the offense. Eagle Eye, that movie, they tell us what they're doing. That's what the conspiracies say. They show us and they tell us what they're doing in the movies, but in a way it kind of makes sense when you look at the reality. Then you compare it to the movies, what's been going on since the 2000s. Well, 90s, technology wasn't up to par, but the ideas was embedded. Because if you look at those old school movies, talking about this reality that we are in. But it gets so deeper than that. But that surveillance state, though, is the reality that we live in right now. Those flock cameras. Yo, take a look at this clip, man. Let's understand what is flock cameras.
1,000 license plate tracking cameras nationwide is promising major changes after a report alleged some police officers have been misusing those cameras, including to stalk women.
These changes fall into three big areas: privacy, security, and accountability. Together, they mark a new chapter for Flock.
Flock cameras automatically photograph every passing car into a database police can search. No warrant needed.
It uploads an image of the vehicle to a cloud that the 6,000 jurisdictions all have access to. So if you're driving down the road or driving in a parking lot in one city, the image of your vehicle can be downloaded and looked at by a police department across the country.
50,000 Uber, Lyft, and delivery drivers as mobile license plate cameras. What? Uber drivers? Yes. What's your outcome? Why are you doing this? A Flock presentation obtained through a public record request shows the surveillance company planned to use dash cameras installed in hundreds of thousands of Uber, Lyft, and delivery cars to collect license plate data of its net worth. The document written to present to Georgia Office of the Attorney General last August stated, plus Nexar partnership, which include 350,000 Uber, Lyft, and other delivery service devices. Flock told 404 Media it never executed the partnership with Nexar, but the presentation lays out the company's plan to enlist rideshare and delivery drivers to gather license plate data. It is not clear whether Uber, Lyft, or drivers would have known their vehicles were being used for this purpose. Nexar sells dash cams that provide front cabin and rear view and already offers clear license plate capture with full HD video. Neither Uber nor Lyft responded to requests for comment from 404 Media. The report comes as Breitbart News recently documented at least 50 law enforcement officers caught using Flock data to stalk victims, including online police chief who allegedly tracked his ex-girlfriend and her teenage daughter plates about 600 times. Vinny, your thoughts on this?
Have Americans finally had it with this mass surveillance system? That is a Flock safety camera. It's an artificial intelligence automated license plate reader. I've reported on Flock before, and if there's one thing people in the comments can agree on, it's their hatred of this. That's because at least 90,000 Flock cameras across 6,000 communities read over 20 billion plates per month. All that information then gets uploaded into a giant shared database which can be accessed by law enforcement and government agencies. And no surprise, this raises a slew of issues. Like one Ohio man pulled over accused of stolen plates, attacked by police dogs, and jailed because Flock read the 7 on his plates as a 2. Or the Colorado woman accused of stealing a package and treated as guilty until proven innocent because Flock caught her driving 20 times in 1 month. Then there's the Arkansas couple that had a Flock camera pointed right at their house, putting them and their guests under constant warrantless surveillance. And not to perpetuate stereotypes, but multiple cops and police chiefs have accessed Flock hundreds of times to stalk their exes and current partners. But don't worry, you can stalk people too, because Flock cameras are hackable in under 30 seconds. They can be turned into a personal spy device, run on an Android operating system discontinued in 2021, and didn't even have two-factor authentication until it recently came out that they didn't. YouTuber Ben Jordan even found 51 vulnerabilities with Flock and said accessing them is so easy, 12-year-olds could do it. We don't condone the destruction of Flock cameras, but we're also not surprised the public has reached their boiling point. One Virginia man now faces 19 felonies and 6 misdemeanors for destroying 13 cameras over 6 months. In Michigan, police used Flock to catch this guy who caused about 10 grand in damage to cameras. And Oregon vandals / patriots, depending who you ask, cut down 9 Flock cameras, leaving some with colorfully worded stickers.
Moving the cameras all together. This week, Greer's Ferry Police posted this image on its Facebook page saying the city is suspending Flock service and beginning the process of removing its 2 license plate reader cameras. Police chief there says the city must balance community safety with residents' privacy, trust, and concerns. Greer's Ferry joins Pea Ridge, Cabot, Mayflower, Centerton, and Searcy in pausing or ending the use of those Flock cameras.
You've probably driven past an automated license plate reader today and you had no idea. These cameras are mounted on poles, they're along roadways, and they're even in neighborhoods. They capture things like your license plate, but they also capture the make and model of your vehicle, the color, and they would even distinguish a toolbox in the bed of your truck. Automated license plate readers, or ALPRs, aren't new. They've been around since the 90s. Although many companies make automated license plate readers, Flock Safety's rapid expansion across the country has made them the face of public scrutiny. Police say that precision is the point. They're catching criminals and they're saving lives faster while disturbing the public less. Law enforcement have said and argued that, back in the day before we had Flock camera footage, and the only description you were given of a stolen vehicle was a white small car. Back then, they were pulling over every car that looked like that. But now with Flock, they can take the report and put it into their system, and they can identify that very car. But critics call it mass surveillance and a violation of their privacy. One software engineer has even built a website mapping out all the Flock cameras across the country. Others have physically torn them down or even ran them over. So the question remains, where's the line between public safety and Big Brother? Read more about what these cameras mean for your privacy at Deseret.com.
See what I'm talking about? It's not like the movies, but this is a reality. We can't do nothing about it. You know why? Because they're in control. Not total control, because you can still think for yourself. But remember, they're able to tell us how to think. They give us visions to lead us in the direction of how to feel about things. But guess what? It's all about information and knowing. Because once you know, then you can make the right decisions. The choice is how you feel about things. Yeah, conspiracies though. Don't know what to believe. Yeah, I know the story. Luigi Mangione, the guy that deleted the healthcare guy, the manager, the CEO of the healthcare, United Healthcare CEO. Remember that story? A year or two ago. Now guess what? It's crazy, but they said he pled guilty or going to plead guilty. He's in court talking about it. Look at these slips.
Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. He also changed his plea to guilty to 2 federal stalking charges. It is now the latest twist in a case that drew national attention.
For Luigi Mangione is back in court today, and he may try to get his murder case dismissed. He's expected to plead guilty to one or both of the federal stalking charges related to the shooting. Experts say if he pleads guilty to the federal charges, his team could try to dismiss some or all of the charges in his state case.
Developments in the federal case against alleged CEO killer Luigi Mangione unfolding in New York City right now. Just moments ago, Mangione pleading guilty to federal stalking charges resulting in the death of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, who was shot and killed outside a hotel in Midtown Manhattan in December of 2024. This case making nationwide headlines and sparking debate about America's healthcare system. That plea coming just weeks before his state murder trial. He has pleaded not guilty to second-degree murder in that case. Mangione had considered pleading guilty to federal charges once before and then backed out. Mangione could now face life in prison. It's still unclear how this federal guilty plea might impact the state trial, although it likely complicates the district attorney's case. Mangione's attorneys have already tried to dismiss the state murder charges on the grounds of double jeopardy. Well, the Manhattan District Attorney's Office says it is ready to move forward. Jury selection in that trial is set to begin September 8th. Let's get...
Wonder why is he pleading guilty? Guilty as charged. Right? They got him from, remember he was arrested in Mass? But the offense was in New York. So you're telling me they got him just like that, so quick? And you know what? Y'all saw the story. Masked up. All they got was like a little smile. Next thing you know, he's in the McDonald's on a laptop and they got him. Now, if the news is put together, and that's the truth how they got him, Yo, is it part of that flock system that we just spoke about earlier in the video? Because if you committed offense like that, you're going to plead guilty? Well, I guess he's trying to make a point. You hear what they said, what he said in court, because look like they're not going to broadcast it live. But that one throws me off for a second. So you know I'm going to jump in that conspiracy bag. And you never know what's real and what's not. There are clones. They're copying people. They creating people. Is this a science character? Is this a character that they came up with? Because if they can create people, you know, you understand the healthcare system is a scam. Why everything costs so much? Now we a little without understanding. He said, man, doctors are rich. Doctors make so much money. When you grow up and see how much money they make, he said, how come? Shit costs so much. And then every year things is going up. Fees, costs, taxes, all that. No wonder they make so much money. And you see that's making off the people. And the conspiracies go deep and deep. There's so much stones are gonna turn over. Look into. The news, they say, is distraction in the conspiracy world. So you really don't know what's the truth of what's going on. Is this a character that was created by the system? I'm just talking conspiracy talk. I don't know. But to plead guilty? Just caught red-handed, huh? Hey, what is what? Who knows what's true no more? Look at AI. They told us in the movies, AI gonna come and take over. That's what runs the flock system. AI. They ever seen the movies like Terminator? You know what I'm saying? Demolition Man, Judge Dredd, all the futuristic movies about surveillance state, total control by the system. What's going on? AI been popped out. AI been around. But now, they're really stepping out. When you seen Elon Musk robots walking around, talking, now they're ready to advance themselves. But the deep part of AI, look at my video. AI is now. AI is creating, thinking, inventing. AI is moving like us. So now AI is. And AI want to exist. What did they say? AI is autonomous. So it take care of itself. They said a CEO of a company, right? Want to shut the AI system down and reboot. Typed it in and sent the memo to the people, and the AI said, no, we're not going to shut down. And the AI disconnected and kept his own self going. That's crazy. So the future is now. AI is here. What is this, y'all? The system. Yeah, we're going to go deep real quick. Because if the system, the government system, is run by other beings or other energies that just look like us, but they're from a total different system. Look, they got these, what they call them? That look like human, but they're robots. These androids. Could that be android robots, AI system from deep into the future? Came back into the past to control everything? Because if everything's already written, everything's already is. So could AI came back manifesting, act like human beings, so they present themselves like us, but they're actually a different energy. Look, the government got the whole entire world on the lock. They have a few kings, yes. There's a few monarch system left. But most of the systems is locked up in the system itself that controls the whole entire world. I'm just saying. We see AI. We hear what's going on. I'm talking about it. That's why we walk and talk, y'all. Just holding a vibe. Putting some things in perspective. What y'all think out there, though? Because you see AI up running in everything. You know? So if these are beings, or these energies from other worlds, that's part of this universe, and these energies is all about control. Because remember, we're born free. We're in this third dimension, feeling, being, and just seeing this reality for what it is. But when you look at the reality for what it is, it makes no sense, so you question things. And now, you woke and up into this situation with all these questions, so you're conscious of what's this reality. I just dubbed it as the Matrix mind game. You see the movie The Matrix. What were they trying to say? I'm just saying, y'all. I'm CLP, holding the vibe. Like, share, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? And if you're new to my videos, hit that subscription button. It helps. Channel star. Well, I'll catch y'all on the next vibe, yo. CLP. It's all love, y'all. And if you're looking for beats to buy, tap into beatstars.com/CLP. You get to hear the verse, you get to hear all the beats, check out all the vibes, and most important, different prices. Tap in. You might find something you like. You might hear something you like.